It would not be a Friday without Sportswire Radio and being here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And we stay focused with no distractions. And we grind because all wrestling matters. And just stay tuned tonight because we'll see some usual suspects. We'll talk about a number of different things and we'll hear from you, most importantly, because it's been a minute. We'll have a chance to catch up and we'll get you ready maybe for some early 4th of July fireworks. We'll talk about whoever else and whatever else you want to say. And thank you, everybody, for being here, or thank you to everybody who's about to be here, because my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. And I was waiting to go on live because, well, I was watching some guy named Timothy Titan, and Timothy Titan was talking about a number of different things that I found interesting and fascinating. So I'm sure he'll talk about that here coming up next week. We'll figure a day, and I think there'll be somebody here. And if you're out there in the chat, thank you very much. I'll get to you. And yeah, there's some people that I see that maybe we haven't got a chance to talk, but this might be a good way to reacquaint ourselves and maybe bring back some people and get on with some different guests. And that's what it's all about. It's been a minute, but I can assure you that we'll make up for it and some. And congratulations to everybody that's here, especially from the WVWF. They've got a big show coming up tomorrow, Summer Clash, and Jade May most certainly should get on the platform. My boys in the promo wrestling world, Mr. Hunter, I definitely got to see you here. We're going to definitely talk about that. Judo Jones, who was, I know, just on Timothy Titan stream. And I can assure you, hopefully, this will be just as entertaining. And I see a number of other people. I see Miss Courtney. Well, maybe if Courtney wants to say hello, we'll give her an opportunity to say hello because, well, there wouldn't be no other way without that. So if you're here, and yeah, I see people with different names here today. There's different names. I don't know why it's showing up different names. Usually it says Omen Black, or it usually says just something else. But it's, I guess, giving me the @ handles now. Did YouTube change the way they see the name on the screen? Because now I see the @ handles. So I don't know. But speaking of Omen Black, I hear from the grapevine that Anthony Steele is back here Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and he's going to address what exactly happened there between Anthony Steele and Omen Black. He's going to address that Sunday night, and that is, I'm sure, going to be a topic. Sean Joby was here last Saturday, and he had a few things to say. And hello to JR Wind, who I know will be probably a topic when the guys from HCW come here, Joey Knight Jr. and all those in the establishment. And well, let's not say ill omen because some people haven't been here in a minute. So we have Summer Bash also. We'll probably spend a day to talk about. Summer Bash is next weekend. So there'll be plenty of fireworks in Iowa upcoming. So that'll be exciting to discuss. And what have people been up to? I feel like we haven't done one of these in a while. I feel like we haven't had a chance. We've had different people come on, and we haven't got a chance to be reacquainted. And it might be a good time to reacquaint with some people here over the next hour or so. Yeah, I don't know why I'm seeing handles. I'm totally lost on why we're seeing handles, but there's a yogurt place called 31 Handles, and hopefully it's just as good. But yeah, it's obviously a lot going on. Certainly, IMF has got a number of shows. Boy, IMF is almost running through shows like the Energizer Bunny. There was 2 shows last week. We've got Summer Bash. Then we've got 2 shows 2 weeks after that. So if you're an IMF fan, you've certainly got the place to be. Certainly, IMF has almost got more shows than WWE these days. I think maybe IMF is running almost as many shows as certainly more than AEW. So that's exciting. We got a chance to catch up with that with Anthony. I'm sure we'll catch up with that. At least we'll do one show, I think, before Summer Bash. I think we're going to talk with some of the guys, and we'll get into that. And I think Summer Bash, we were talking about it with Jovi last week on the show, but definitely we need to talk more about it because Jovi may have got it going on, but we need to hear more of the usuals. Yeah, but how about you, Princess JD? Are you happy about Anthony Steele now? Are you going to take back everything you said about Anthony Steele or what? So, I mean, that's going to be an interesting topic there. I'm sure Anthony Steele in a place he hasn't been in, at least from the 2+ years I've seen him here coming on Sportswire. Yeah, you'll have to get a rain check on that. Who are you again? Oh, Austin Tyler. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely let you know. I'll definitely let you know. It'll be in the mail. And no, well, what is no about? Know about Anthony Steele? Well, he's definitely the real deal. I mean, he's the most controversial figure in backyard and underground in all of wrestling history. And I guess to quote somebody I've been quoting recently, I guess he's staying focused. He's got no distractions and he grinds. That's what he's doing. And yeah, I guess, are you in IMF? Is your name Austin Tyler? Are you an IMF member? And yeah, definitely we need to come back to talk OPW. Definitely a lot going on in OPW. We got to figure that out. I will be definitely doing a couple of these open mics in July because I got too many people that are like, I got to come on. Last Friday, I was supposed to have a guy on the infamous Montana who turned into almost one of Tony Montana's victim on Scarface and didn't show up. And we got a guy who had no picture and nobody tuned in. So we won't have that problem tonight because obviously I'm in picture and I'm sure whoever I bring on here will be in picture. So yeah, that'll definitely be one that we'll get into. But yeah, we got to talk promo wrestling. What is going on with TPW? Does TPW exist still? Is that a thing? I mean, not to get into the weeds with that, but yeah, we can talk OPW. We can talk whatever you want. It's been a minute. You haven't been here in like, what, 5 months? So that would be a good time. I think that this next few weeks is going to be catching up with people because I've had too many people that I don't know if anybody's heard from or heard of or, but we have some good, I've had some good ones. I had bands, if you like Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad was here. Yeah, just reopened. Okay, good. I like Rocky. And I hope he's doing well. He kind of went off the deep end for a bit, but yeah, we're going to talk about that pay-per-view. I'm definitely excited about it. You should be too. No, TPW, not TBW. TBW, you can just say go somewhere else for them. But yeah, TPW, it's Texas Promo Wrestling. They're two different states, JR. We don't want to get them confused because certainly we want to talk TPW. RCEW, I don't even know what RCEW is. Maybe you should enlighten the IMF guys about that. Maybe you can talk to Anthony Steele and stay focused and no distractions and grind. You tell Anthony Steele about RCEW and stay focused with no distractions and grind. Yeah, don't worry about it, JR. And also, I'm trying to figure out if I can change my name. Yeah, I don't know. Is it YouTube on here? I guess YouTube has done it differently. It's the first time I've been doing this for 6.5 years. I've been using StreamYard for 4 years. This is the first time I've seen the handles. I'm totally confused. Now, if you like yogurt, like I said, there's 31 handles. Night of Champions. We're going to talk about WWE. I mean, I haven't watched WWE much, I admit, because my life consisted of the last week I've been sick. And then the rest of the time, I'm trying to catch up on IMF, ROEW, WVWF, certainly. What's been going on in Pittsburgh. Don't even go there with that. And some of the other companies that come on here. Tomorrow, we'll have the BTW guys come on here. They've got their BTW Mania show. We'll certainly get into that. And yeah, we've got 2 world champions in the IMF. We talked about that with Jovi, and I'm still confused about it. We'll get into that, I'm sure, with Anthony Steele, I'm sure Sunday, and I'm sure Omen Black will be paying him a visit. Maybe they'll try to recreate that embrace in the ring that Anthony Steele walked off on. Yeah, I don't know how we can change the names. WVWF has got Summer Clash. By the way, Jade, Maverick is here Tuesday night. Maverick is going to be here Tuesday night. And what a small world, because Maverick is somebody that's actually been in the ring with my guest last night, to get bundles of OVWF. Yeah, maybe we'll do that in a minute. Yeah, maybe let me bring you on to the link. Give me about a minute or two. Hold on 1 second. Let me do that here. Give me 50 seconds or so. Where is Mr. Omen Black tonight? Well, look at the handle. He's telling you he's going to come on here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sending him the link. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to be talking RCEW, but yeah, it's time to get back to the basics. No, I think it is time to get back to the basics because the last few weeks I've been sick. I've been in politics and I've been sick, and we've had new people come on the show. So it's a combination of a number of things. But if you like rock music, we have the band LA Guns coming on here next week. We have the singer of the band, Phil Lewis, not to be confused with Guns N' Roses, although LA Guns was actually an offshoot of Guns N' Roses. But that I'm not going to get into tonight. But definitely we'll welcome you to the jungle here tonight of Sportswire Radio. And is it Sane or Omen? Well, there's two champions, but that's how they're labeling it. But they're defending the title each. So you'd have to ask management for that. And hello there, champ.
Yeah, that's right. The real world champ. Finally, I'm back on my platform.
Well, you know what? I've had a lot of Make-A-Wish shows. I've been sick, and a combination of the merry-go-round. But it's good to be with.
I've been dealing with bullshit from IMF management, trying to screw me out of what's mine.
And Anthony Steele, by the way, is here Sunday night, by the way. Speaking of the gang coming back, I mean, how do you feel about Anthony Steele these days? We were talking about that with Jovi. Man, you have no love for it all. No love whatsoever for. How do you feel about Anthony Steele these days?
I don't want to talk about Anthony Steele. That's for the night he comes on here. I don't want to talk about Anthony Steele.
We'll talk about him.
I got a lot to say about Anthony Steele, but I don't got much time on here.
All right, so what do you want to talk about? Because obviously you are the world champion, but there's two world champions. So enlighten us on why you're the real world champion, sir.
No, Damien Saint's a thief. He's not an IMF champion. He's a thief.
But he's defending the title also.
The foundation, they want to try to screw me out of what's mine, what's truly mine. So I didn't get pinned, and I wasn't the one losing in that match. I pinned Drago 1, 2, 3. If you look back at it, I fell on top of Drago a millisecond right before Damien Saint.
Now, the interesting point you made. Now, I'll go to the tape in a minute. We'll get the tape up here. The crack staff will bring that out. But we were talking about this with Jovi, and we didn't get a definitive go to the tape, instant replay. Have you gone to Dirty? Have you gone and appealed maybe that to see if we can go to the tape? Well, maybe we're going to the tape right now. Maybe Omen Black is actually going to the tape, and the House of Wolves are going to figure this one out for us because, he'll come back. Don't worry. He'll come back here. But, Zilla, he's going to come back. Don't worry. Yes, he's your champion, and he'll come back. Don't worry about that. He's going to definitely have plenty to say on that, undoubtedly. So, and if you are here, hit the sub button for us and support our friends in the IMF. We'll have plenty to talk about with them. That'll be Sunday night. And the champion is here. I thought maybe you
would go. I had a phone call. Okay, I was told, don't go on Sportswire. Don't go on Sportswire. Don't talk about IMF business. I don't care, Dirty Donnie. You can suck my right nut.
Well, I'm surprised Dirty would say that. But then again, I'll leave Dirty out of it because Anthony Steele will have plenty to say about him. But have you gone to the tape and appealed to management with the tape to show them maybe that you're the champion from your vantage point?
They don't care to listen to it, Tom. I'm telling you, the foundation has Dirty Donnie in their back pocket. They don't like me. Obviously, you could tell throughout the month.
Well, I mean, the last several months, you've said a lot about the foundation. We know.
I said nothing but the truth, Tom. The truth. I mean, talking bullshit.
Well, nepotism was a big thing that came up. Yes, nepotism was a thing that came up with Jovi. Jovi kept getting shot after shot. Jovi last year was Summer of Jovi. This year, he's definitely on the failures tour. He's basically admitted that. But sure, you've talked about those things. But, I mean, so where do you go from here? You've got to defend at least your part of your championship. You're defending it here coming up in just under 3 weeks from now.
Well, I got to defend what's truly mine next week in a Summer Bash.
Yeah.
Because Dirty Donnie promised another foundation guy, a guy who doesn't deserve it, a world title shot at Summer Bash. Dark Kron.
Well, Dark Kron's talked about this for 2 months. He has been on here for 2 months talking about he's wanted this shot. I mean, for 2 months, this has been going on. And this is a man you've got a lot of history with, years worth of history. And he knows the results. Last time he was here in Palo wasn't too good when it came to, again, I'm not going there with Anthony Steele, but he's certainly going to, I'm sure, make his case why he knows you better than anybody, and he's going to bring you home. He's going to try what Justin Parsley couldn't try.
I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not blinded by the fucking blind leaders who try to lead the IMF, who try to lead the foundation. They're all stuck up Soldier GP's ass. They're all stuck in Dirty Donnie's pocket. Listen, I am the real world champion. I wasn't beaten for my title. That thief Damien Saint took it But that's fine. I can defend my title against Kron, and I'll beat him. I'll defend my title against El Drago. I beat him again. But the thing is, though, he picked my opponent. I picked his opponent, Damian Saint. I picked a man who he can't beat ever. Yep. Anytime they step in the ring together, Rory Fox, a man who was on WWE Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, Rory, he's a name I think we've brought up here in the past when talking IMF. He's a guy that he's actually come up because I know a few guys that cover Dreamwave Wrestling, and he's been talked about over there. So he's a very big deal in the independent circuit, no question.
I called Rory up because I knew I had to get rid of Damian Saint somehow. I just didn't know he's going to be world champion at the time. So I kind of had it in my back pocket, but now I gotta have Rory Fox beat Damian, and I could beat Rory Fox because Rory Fox couldn't get past Zack Ryder. I know I can get past Zack Ryder, Macadona, whoever the hell his name is nowadays.
Well, John Cena seems to be having his name in his mouth, but I mean, you got to be feeling good then that you've picked somebody that Damian Saint can't beat. So you got to be feeling really good regardless. And Kron, I mean, you know him better than almost anybody else would. So this should be a walk in the park for you. And you've won up once again, Damian Saint and whatever else the Foundations had planned for you. That's what it sounds like.
All I got to do is beat Kron, which I already beat him. I already will. I already know in my head. I've already been shown that I'm going to beat Kron. I got to beat Drago at the show on the Friday at a bar at Double Z. And then I'm insured to beat or to win or go against the winner between Rory Fox and Damian Saint.
And we're putting the footage up here because obviously that was something that you alluded to. And I know Jovi had his opinion, and I obviously wanted to see it with you because we got it with Jovi, and if I don't do it with you, then we'll never have Sportswire again. But I mean, show us where you had that millisecond or that millimeter ahead of Damian Saint when it came to retaining your IMF World Championship fully. Because I see people in the chat are lighting up now. The chat is lighting up because you've come back home to your platform.
He tried saying right here, "Oh, we need to take El Drago out." I'm never gonna trust Damian Saint. Can't trust a word that comes out of his mouth.
Well, you've been battling him over a year, so I mean,
Damian Saint's lying because his mouth is moving. That's how I know it.
Well, he's
right here. He wants to play these games, but I'm not gonna play the games with him. Throw the chair,
but then look. Wait, you both fall down. 1, 2, 3. But how have you used this tape? Now, I know you and the House of Wolves obviously have access to the footage in different ways. Have you guys sped it up in a way that you saw clear with clear and concise evidence that you got that millimeter ahead of Damian Saint when he got the 3?
I mean, the proof is in the pudding, Tommy. You saw, it's very hard on StreamYard, but you slow it down. You screen record, slow it down.
We'll come back, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to see where I can come back in here. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Okay.
I'm covering him. Would you really count that as a cover for Damian Saint? No.
Well,
at least I knew in my head, I need to cover him if I'm going down.
I said this when Jovi was here last Saturday. I have been doing this a long time now, and I don't think, at least on Sportswire, I've seen a situation like this where 2 men at the same time pin the same individual and are both claimed as the world champion. I mean, the only other instance I think I came up with was in 2000 when Chris Jericho in China had been claimed as the Intercontinental Champion. I think that's the only other instance I could think of.
We can go back even a little sooner than that. CM Punk and John Cena. We can go to fucking AEW or CM Punk again. And I think it was Hangman Adam Page or 2 world champions. See, that's the thing. Damian Saint, his hero is CM Punk. He just wants to be Punk so damn bad. But
Well,
it's not going to end the way that CM Punk wants it to go. It's not going to be the same way that Damien Satan wants it to go. I'm going to be the world champion at the end of this.
well, I mean, we're going to certainly find out, and Summer Bash is coming up next weekend, so there'll be plenty of fireworks with that. And then the IMF has shows 2 weeks right after that. We'll have plenty of coverage with that, and obviously we see you and Damian Saint there going back and forth right there. And you're telling him that you won the match, so you're telling him there that you won. You're telling, and there we go. We see the referees declaring both of you the winner, though. Declaring both of you the winner.
It's just, it goes back to the foundation, Tom.
We talked about the nepotism.
They knew they had a short couple months left until I walk out of the IMF with the world title. So they're trying to find any way, any reason to get that title off me because they don't want to lose their pride and joy, and that's the IMF World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Il Drago did ruin some of the other plans that you guys have had because, well, the United States Championship is no longer in House of Wolves' possession. I know that we'll talk about that on Sunday, but still, Il Drago seems to be at the center of things, and Damian Saint is definitely sending you a message right now.
I'll say this about Steele. I don't want to talk about Steele much, but, he really did drop the ball losing the IMF United States title, and he's really dropping the ball by not doing what's best for the house.
This is controversial from Steele. This is yet again Anthony Steele. Just when you thought you had Anthony Steele figured out all these years, he does this. He does this. I mean, he's going to talk about it. I mean, I'm sure he's going to explain himself. But just when you thought he couldn't be any more controversial, that's what Anthony Steele does. As we always say, that's what I do. That's what I do with Anthony Steele, and that's what he does. And if you want to subscribe to the IMF and see more of their content and get in touch with them, and if you're a booker, I don't know why Canarsie came up here, but if you are here on YouTube, hit the sub button for the IMF because I see a bunch of new people here, and I'll get to your comments in a few minutes, and we'll bring on some other people to hang out with us. But yeah, hit the sub button for the IMF and just controversial, as controversial as Anthony Steele could be, really, with what his actions were. And he'll talk about them, I have no doubt.
See, I'm going to walk out December still being IMF World Champion because I know for a fact that's going to ruin the foundation. It's going to ruin IMF. I don't care about this fucking company because they've done nothing. And I repeat, nothing for me whatsoever.
You really believe that they've done nothing for you? Or what
I've had to scratch, claw my way to the top many, many times.
Well, that's true, but I mean, the IMF is this big stage. You guys are doing shows in different places. You guys are working with the veterans, the bikers. I mean, you guys have become a community company, and you say, though, that the IMF has done nothing for you, but the IMF is everywhere.
Because of me, because of Felix. That's Tom. I feel I'm a broken record player. Like, I've been saying this. It's been me and Felix.
You and Felix have certainly been front and center.
Some say it's Soldier GP and Justin Parsley and Sean Jovi and Damian Saint.
Well, how about Soldier GP continuing to retain the tag team championships despite the man that you put on the shelf, Justin Parsley, who we haven't heard from ages on this platform because, well, he's still sidelined with the concussion.
I put him on the shelf.
And who knows what his future is, but yet Soldier GP continues to defy the odds. He stays focused with no distractions and grinds. And he grinds his way to retain those tag team championships despite his tag team partner being out of action.
He's fighting his son. Yeah, Felix Jones is a hell of a talent, but I'll say this, Soldier GP knows how to get in. If anyone knows how to get in Felix's head, it's his father. And he has
you've gotten in his head more than anybody else because this entire calendar year on Sportswire, anytime the two of you have been on, he doesn't say anything. There's no words, nothing. No mask, you might want to say.
He doesn't say anything to me. He doesn't want to say anything to me because he knows everything that's coming out of my mouth is gonna be true about him, 100%. But you see, when it's someone else, though, Soldier GP is Soldier GP. He's not gonna back down for no one.
Well, we're gonna find out, and also
I'm just to the point where I'm just trying to push Soldier GP to the point where he has to fight me. That he knows that he has to fight me to shut me up.
Well, right now, I mean, you're preoccupied with Damian Sane, so really, Soldier, he's on the back burner. Don't you think he's on the back burner?
I guess my side quest is just to ruin the foundation. But my main quest in this whole thing is to show the people who Soldier GP truly is.
Well, I mean, what it seems like he's somebody that continues to stay focused with no distractions and grinds his way to. He's finding ways.
If anyone knows him better than it be his own brother, me, I'm his brother. I know more about him than he knows about himself.
But it seems like Justin Parsley's claimed to be his brother again. His best friend. It's real. It seems like it's real between them. They're real monsters.
Yeah, okay, they're real monsters. But it wasn't Soldier GP stopping me from beating down on Justin Parsley. It wasn't Soldier GP getting in that cage to save him.
No, it wasn't. To be fair, no, it was not. No, and it was not.
He told Justin Parsley to get back in the cage to bring me home. He had me beat.
And Justin Parsley was convinced. Well, that's a fair point because Justin Parsley was convinced that he was going to bring you, and he said he called you his brother. He said it here, and you know what? Justin Parsley, from what I recall that week before, was here on Sportswire, and he was just almost nonchalant. He was certainly not in the same frame of mind you were. I mean, you were calculated, you were cunning, and you were straight. Listen, you were staying focused with no distractions and wanting to grind Justin Parsley's skin literally to the point where he is right now on the shelf. And Justin Parsley was, Justin Parsley. And that's what led him into the problems where he is right now, which is on the shelf.
I made sure that Justin Parsley has to look in that mirror every day and see the scars and the ruined tissue is all because of Omen Black. And
you know what? Do you think he can even look in the mirror after what you did to him almost 2 months ago?
I mean, yeah, because if anyone's gonna look in the mirror to check themselves out, it's gonna be Justin Parsley. He gets a hard on just looking at himself in the mirror.
Now, I think, you know what? Let me tell you something, champ. As we're here with Omen Black on his platform, and as a reminder, Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Anthony Steele comes back to Sportswire. Let's just say that could be an all-nighter. Anthony Steele is saying he's got a lot to address and a lot to get off his chest. He's going to set the record straight, so you're going to not want to miss that one. If you thought what they talked about in Pittsburgh tonight was interesting, wait till Anthony Steele comes back home to the platform he built. But Omen Black, it is his home platform that he owns, so that's just want to make that clear. But, I mean, listen, Justin Parsley, he's going to have a problem looking at the mirror. It's going to almost be like Jack Nicholson's character in Batman after getting thrown in the Axis chemicals. I think Justin Parsley's having major problems right now looking into the mirror. But really, what this comes down to is Rory Fox and Damian Sane are coming up here, July 18th. You've got a foundation member, which you go on the IMF Facebook page. You can figure out who that is. But you got to be feeling good, though. Regardless, you got to be feeling good because ultimately – the plans are still in place for you come December 31st, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time to walk out of the IMF with the IMF World Heavyweight title because you know that Rory Fox has got Damian Saint's number and then Rory Fox is going to do the gentlemanly thing and basically, you'll walk all over him and you'll just continue on your merry way for the next 5.5 months.
I will say this about me walking out. It's the foundation's starting to become calculated. They don't want me to sign my contract.
Have they started to kind of catch on to you guys? Because you think you have. Why do you say that for?
They have. Tom, I've said it many, many times. I am the smartest man in the IMF locker room. I'm the smartest man in the Palo Community Center because I'm constantly 2 steps ahead of everyone. But yeah, they might have got a little lucky. A little lucky with little Damien Saint. That's fine. But I have plans. I have plans to make sure that I'm going to walk out 100%. The IMF World Heavyweight Champion.
I got some comments, and I'm going to certainly read off some of them. I got to.
By the way, I want to say one comment. Tyler Ark or Austin Tyler, you go fuck yourself.
You done? Well, there's actually some. First of all, there's somebody here. You think this is maybe an imposter?
That's not him.
Now, do you think that's Rob Slater? Now, do you think it's potentially
it's
Rob
still
Slater?
Rob Slater.
Yeah, that's an essential comment. That's essential.
I hear he's going to be at Summer Bash, and I doubt that's going to happen.
Rob Slater's going to be at Summer Bash?
It's going to be either Rob Slater and Justin Parsley's Get Up, but...
Wow, Rob Slater. I didn't know that he was coming to Summer Bash again after the last one.
No, but I kind of hope. I kind of hope Justin Parsley shows up. Not that because I want to torture him some more. No, I just want him because he has to step foot in the House of Wolves compound on our grounds. And knowing that he is 100% the loser between me and him. And he has to tuck his tail between his legs and come to our compound for Summer Bash.
No, Justin Parsley, regardless of whatever mood or whatever he looks like, he doesn't tuck his tail. He doesn't do that, Justin Parsley. I think you know him better. Listen, I actually know Mr. Parsley a little longer than you, and I know Mr. Parsley's not tucking his tail anywhere. He may look like this still, but he's not. And yeah, I don't know why this guy would want to come back. I mean, but do you want him on? Probably not, right? No good.
He doesn't want to come on the show with me. I promise you, Tyler. You don't want this.
Do you want him? Do you want this guy at Summer Bash?
You know, he could be the guy who cleans the porta potties when we need them cleaned.
He's not on the registry, right? He's not on the registry.
No,
that's good.
That's probably the one guy in Wisconsin who's not on the registry.
Well, I do want to say hello.
Kodak Kid. Hi, Silverwolf.
I don't know who those names are, but I want to give a shout out to
God, Mr. Brightside and Drake Wolf.
Yeah, this is one guy that keeps messaging me, and it's like, yeah, I don't know who you are. On my face, he was one of the, I think it was one of the videos I posted. But I do got to say a little about WWF before I get to Princess JD. This is going to be very interesting. I'm going to be talking Summer Clash Tuesday night with Maverick. So Anthony's here Sunday. Thursday is all dedicated to Summer Bash. So Thursday night, if you want to come on, if you're only an IMF or going to be at Summer Bash, we're going to bring Timothy Titan on the next day after. We'll have plenty to talk about with Timothy Titan. But this is all about Summer Bash this coming Thursday. That's it. That's the show. That's it. But this was important because he could very well be having a hair versus career show. So it's time for awakening. And yeah. And Princess JD, by the way, says she's got matching scars with Justin Parsley. Do you know
why do you have matching scars with Justin Parsley, you sick weirdo?
Well, it's a minor. That's a minor.
And it's still weird.
Maybe she looked at it. Did you think that she asked Mr. Parsley where the scar was and compared?
I wouldn't put it past her if she's like, oh, Justin Parsley has a scar on her forehead. She did it herself.
There does need to be an awakening. The sands of the hourglass. We'll get to everybody's comments here. And he claims to be a big fan of yours, though.
Why wouldn't you be? But I'm not a fan of yours.
Do you now? If he wanted to give you an autograph, I mean, would you? If he wanted your autograph, would you give it to him?
He wanted my autograph, $800 just for you, buddy. That's
a lot. You know what? I don't ask me for a loan.
But if you're saying I wanted his autograph, of course I want his autograph.
Yeah. I really. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Nobody wants.
Yeah. I would give it to Ox. He could use this toilet paper at Summer Bash.
Well, I got it. I think you would want his autograph for the check, right? For the $800.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and yes, I'm very excited about Tuesday. We'll talk about that also. She says at a table when she was younger, and she was 3 when she got her scar. People remember when they got scars at 3.
Fake news.
Yeah, well, who else we got here? Zilla's here. Zilla wants to say hello. And Justin Parsley didn't tell us if he's coming back on soon. And Rude, okay, yeah, that's Rude. Also, hit the sub button for the IMF. DeGet Bundles, by the way, I didn't know that DeGet Bundles trained her. DeGet Bundles, who was on here on your show yesterday, who just wrestled Heath Slater 2 weeks ago, was here last night. And DeGet Bundles is going to be wrestling tomorrow against Rad Dad's stepson, Connor Schaefer. Long story. I'll talk about it Thursday. Omen, you don't get any stones knowing you throw them at someone just like keychains.
Sounds like you're just a little salty that for some reason you thought it'd be a good idea to give me a bracelet with my name on it. You thought I wasn't.
You didn't buy one? You didn't buy one of these worry stones?
No.
The soldier seems like he likes them though.
Of course, he has to worry a lot. So of course he's gonna get anything to help him.
It is getting interesting tonight. Thank you. But she says she feels bad for Justin Parsley. She feels bad for him.
Who cares? Who cares what you say?
I'll give you lessons. If you're here Friday, I'll give you the lessons. Who else we got? Yes. Okay, we got to the point here. But, I mean, so you say everything's good, though, with the House of Wolves? Everything's good with you guys? Everything's good? Aside from the man coming on here Sunday.
Yeah.
Aside from the man, because, again, I know.
Myself, Ox, the Midwest Express, and Felix. We're all
How about the match Ox has come up? You see what was just announced for Ox?
Yeah, he's wrestling Bogat.
Yeah, I mean, Ox might be on the most deadly run of any hardcore champion in all of wrestling right now. If you think about what he's been doing.
I'll say this. He's the second best IMF hardcore champion, but he's about to become the best IMF hardcore champion.
And you're the best IMF world champion.
I mean, that's a given, Tom.
All right. On a lighter note for a second, let's certainly go to a lighter note. Summer Bash this year. You know, I was talking about it with Jovi. I know you and Jovi do not see eye to eye, but I'm excited about this year's Summer Bash. It's going to be a different look. Obviously, you're very happy it's not in Bremen, Ohio this year, not in Darkron's former compound, and we've got some really cool stuff that I'm sure we'll talk about as we get into it.
Also, we don't have a coach who wants to come down to Summer Bash this year who wants to complain the whole time.
I don't know any coaches. I mean,
we all know who I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I could talk about him, but what would that do? I mean, nobody knows him here. They don't know who he is. We got professionals on here. You're a professional. There's professionals in the chat. It's not amateur hour here on Sports, but we have professionals on here. We don't have those that, we'll leave that at that. But I was trying to be a basketball coach. I applied for that as a job. But, I mean, I'm excited, though, about Summer Bash this year. I am very excited because we're going to see a lot of things that I think is going to make this the best Summer Bash yet.
Let's talk about Jason Storm.
I was glad that you said that because Jason Storm has got plenty to say about James Taylor, and I hear from the grapevine James Taylor is returning to Sportswire soon.
That's where he only shows up to.
Well,
I don't want to talk about James Taylor.
I want to talk about Jason Storm.
I want to talk about Jason Storm. He's going to be the next All Wrestling Matters champion.
And Jason Storm has been on an amazing run. Look at what he did in ROEW, basically destroying the ROEW setup. Look at what he's done to JX. I mean, JX will, he'll never show up to the ROEW arena again after what certainly we've seen Jason Storm do to him here in IMF and what he's done as a part of the group. I mean, listen, between you, Storm, and Felix, and then you've got Ox and the Wolves. I mean, listen, you guys still maybe are on course to have the most dangerous Summer Bash and the most dangerous faction in history continue to live on forever.
If this is Space Jam, me, Storm, and the Households, we'd be the Monstars right now.
I knew you were going there. But I think the Foundation are a little bit better than when the NBA players lost their power.
But obviously, that story would be a little bit different if it was us playing that movie.
Well, I mean, obviously, Damian Saint ain't Michael Jordan. I mean, he might be good, but he ain't that good. I mean, but compared to Michael Jordan. But, I mean, obviously, listen, you've got Storm and Felix, the Prince of Professional Wrestling, the man that has arrived, the man that I continue to say is going to be where the likes of Ace Christian and Dave Jamieson who've been here. By the way, Ace Christian's coming back to Sportswire in a few weeks. I hear from the grapevine Ace Christian's got something to say.
I like Ace.
Me too. He's got a big announcement coming up here. When he comes back, he's here in about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks, Ace Christian's here.
But yeah, Jason Storm, he is going to be the next All Wrestling Matters champion because I'm going to make sure and everything I have, every power that I have, that he beats Solar GP to take one more thing away from Solar GP in the Foundation. But that's not just him either who's going to take something away from the Foundation.
He's not.
I've been talking to Felix, and me and Felix have a plan for Summer Bash.
You're not going to tell us, obviously, I'm sure.
Oh, no, you got to watch, Tom. I'm not an idiot.
Oh, yeah, obviously, because I would think it's your platform. You don't want to give away the plan.
But the Foundation is going to be a rough time at Summer Bash for the Foundation.
Maybe it's also too complicated for the Foundation, right? Because Kron's coming back. He's got this match, which I know we're going to be talking plenty about this week. We have plenty to talk about with that. You've got Damian Saint sort of hanging around again. I mean, who knows about Justin Parsley? You've got Il Drago, which I'm not going to talk to you about Il Drago. I know you don't.
No, we can. That's totally fine. Yeah, we can.
We talk about Il Drago? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he's got the United States Championship, and he continues to play his role in the Foundation, I suppose.
Yeah, he's United States champion. That just means he's forever going to be the number 2 guy behind me. Because I'm still the real world champion.
But doesn't that go into the point that you've said now for actually even before the start of this year that Drago's always not even number 2 in the Foundation, he's number 3. And actually now he might even be number 4 because think about it, right? You got Soulja. You've talked about Soulja. I'm not going there.
If anything, he should be over them because they're the tag team champions. Yeah, one's the PWF World Champion, one's an All Wrestling Matters champion. But other than that, in the Foundation, who's got what?
Well, I mean, they got the tag titles. They got the tag titles.
Okay, tag titles. They can't do it without each other, but
Soulja somehow finds ways.
Yeah, cheap ways to the Foundation. But Il Drago is, in my eyes and everyone else's eyes, he's the main guy in the Foundation right now. He's got the gold. He's got the United States title. And you know what? That's going to start driving wedges in between the Foundation guys, in between each other. And that's the perfect...
Well, I mean, it's being labeled that Damian Saint's also defending the world championship. So, I mean, they're going to claim it.
He's a fake champion.
I understand that, but they're going to claim that he's also a world champion. They're going to claim it. They're going to claim that he's a world champion, regardless.
Then what's going to happen when Roy Fox beats him? What's going to happen? Are they going to call Roy Fox the real champion then?
I don't know. I mean, if they claim that, that's up to them.
When I beat Roy Fox or Damian Saint, what are they going to say then? Am I either going to be the next? Am I actually going to be known as the champion again, or are they going to find some other bullshit way to make me not champion?
Well, maybe I guess maybe do you want me to ask Anthony Steele that question on Sunday?
I'm asking you that question as a viewer, as a fan, as a guy who knows a lot about IMF.
I have seen it.
And you know about the Foundation and their ways.
I mean, okay, so if you want to, all right, so we're going to go down that road. This is what will happen. Dirty will come out. There'll be some type of announcement. There'll be some type of thing probably. And then we'll maybe see either some match or some scenario where we'll probably run this back or we'll have a part B to this. Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, that's what'll happen.
But I want to propose something here on Sportswire. If somehow, some way, Roy Fox beats Damian or Damian beats Roy Fox, because the winner of both those matches got to meet at All Out Warfare.
Yes.
Correct?
Jovi, I think we talked about that with Jovi on Saturday.
And with the IMF World title being split apart, we're kind of tethered together no matter what. When I'm world champion and whoever's going to be world champion out of that, we're kind of tethered together by the one simple thing, the IMF World title. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing because I want to be tethered together by a dog collar at All Out Warfare to the winner of that match.
What can you repeat that? I just want to make sure I got the right.
I'm challenging the winner between Roy Fox and Damian Saint to unify or get the undisputed IMF World title in a dog collar match at All Out Warfare.
Well, maybe if I'm Rory Fox or Damian Saint, maybe I go to a no contest and just let you advance with the championship, because that would sound like, to me, the end of their careers. It'd always be a foregone conclusion. You with them in a dog collar match, it's over. Listen, we should just at that point just advance you to December 31st, speed the calendar up, just move the clock along, and that's it. You're out of here. I mean, because there's just, we've seen enough.
The dog collar and the chain is just a symbol. It's supposed to represent the IMF World Title. We're tethered together by the title being the world champion. And it's going to be poetic when I use that chain to whip them, when I use that collar to choke them. Their morality mission is going to go out the window when they have to see me across the ring, tethered to me by a dog collar and chain.
All right, but before I let you go, because I want to, Courtney Wood wants to come on. I want to give her a chance to talk WVW before we close the show out here. But is there, because we've been talking about this the last couple weeks. We had to get bundles on yesterday. OVW star just wrestled Heath Slater. We were talking about him with this guy Connor Schaefer, and Willie looked past him and he kind of laughed at me. We then talked about with Rad Dad, him wrestling Darius Carter, number 152 in the PWI 500, and we talked about Darius Carter looking past Rad Dad. Rad pulled off the upset. Is there any chance that you're looking past good old Darkron coming up next weekend?
Not a chance, Tom.
Not a chance?
I've beaten him. I've watched him get beaten many, many times.
And Jason Storm recently. Jason Storm.
Yeah, Jason Storm had the pleasure to beat him and his son, which I've done that as well. I've taken the DKW world title off his dim-witted son.
I'm aware of it. We've had you and him face-to-face on here over the years. Yes, but Kron's going to be motivated. Kron's going to be, because he's certainly still got what happened to him, where he was stacked by, I think, your friend Anthony Steele. I think your friend Anthony Steele. So this might be his last shot. This might be Kron's last shot, because Kron's talked about he doesn't know how much more he's had left. We know CJ Black came out and said, take it for what you want. This could be his last year as an active wrestler. I know you're out of here, the IMF, in a few months, but Kron may look at this like, after everything he's fought through, he knows this might be the last ride, the last dance, you might even say.
I want him to be motivated, Tom. I wouldn't want it any other way if he's not motivated. I want him to go into Summer Bash thinking that he's 100% confident he's going to beat me.
And he might feel better this time because he's not hosting the thing like he did the last 2 years and dealing with some of the drama of an individual that we'll just leave what you said about there for the public. But he may feel like he's got the weight lifted off his shoulders because he's now not the MC anymore. He's coming into a different environment, and he's got a lot that he's wanted a pent-up rage with you over, especially these last few months.
I wouldn't want it any other way, Tom, still, because I said a lot about his cancer. I've said a lot about him. I've said a lot about the foundation. I'm trying to get under their skin, and it shows that I do that on a daily basis. But he's not stepping into the ring with the same omen that he stepped into the cage 2 years ago at Rage in the Cage with. I'm more wicked. I'm more nefarious. I'm more motivated. I am more determined, and I'm more focused. You got more
experience under your belt. You've wrestled far more matches. You've done far more since then. So, yeah, listen, you've come a long way the last 2 years. No question about that. You've come a long way from the guy 2.5 years ago that came here and, some guy you mentioned from some state, the Badger State, and you almost had to, confront him to have a match. Now, you're the whole shebang. You're the world champion. And Darkron, he's had plenty of struggles, not only outside the ring, but inside the ring. So we'll have to find out if it'll motivate him. And before I let you go here, also, she continues to go on and saying Justin Parsley's still better than you.
If that was true, he would have beat me.
Well, he's the only thing he might be beating up is himself with Advils. But yeah, DeGette is an awesome guy. DeGette is a fellow New Yorker, by the way. And James Curry, the prodigy from WWF, also says he's also got a fellow Damien that's a thorn in his side, which he does, by the way. And Damien Satan, Damien Abel. And speaking of people that
It must be something with the name because
I don't know.
every Damien I met annoys the hell out of me.
Well, I'm going to leave that at that.
Besides one, a close friend of mine, but
and Chase, speaking of people that wrestled at Super Shows last week, Best in the Yard, Chase Wakefield wanted to say hello and hit the sub button. All right. I know you've already announced you'll be here Sunday to say hello to Anthony, but you have any final words?
Yeah, actually.
Well, that's nice of you. It's your show. I would think you'd have a few words to say. I know it's been a minute, but I don't
know if I announced it, but at Summer Bash, we will be crowning the first ever PWF Global Champion.
You know, we did, but I think when you announced it, I think James was here, and I think that topic became like a moot point because of some other things that came up. So, yeah, you want to re-announce that for the audience?
Yeah, Summer Bash this year, next Friday, we'll be crowning the first ever PWF Global Champion. Never been done before. It is truly the secondary title for the PWF behind the IMF or the PWF World Heavyweight title that someone that I fucking hate has.
Yeah, you hate him. Yeah, you can say that part, but the other part, yeah, go ahead.
But I am very honored. I'm very excited to see who wants it the most, who has to claw and do every dirty or clean tactic they want to do to become the first ever PWF Global Champion.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about that. I think Thursday night we will be here.
I'll show the title Thursday night, so everyone gets a good view of it before Friday comes, and we'll crown the first ever champion.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've gotten back to the basics. I was on twice yesterday. Jovi was back on here Saturday. Anthony Steele is on here Sunday night, and a slew of your favorites going to be at Summer Bash will be here Thursday night. So it's exciting times ahead. Plenty of fireworks. And Mr. Parsley, before you go, wants to say, if I'm cleared, I'll show up and hold the global for a year. Well, speaking of people that are here, and yeah, you have to follow that up. But I figured I'd bring you on. Well, actually, he's going to come back on for a minute. Well, yes, Omen, before you go.
I don't know why he kicked me off, but yep. What was Parsley saying? I know he's saying probably something smart ass like.
Well, yeah. Well, we're gonna transition in a minute, but he said he'll hold the global and the world title.
Not a chance, but you know what? Thanks, Tom, for letting me on. I wanted to clear the air with who's the real world champion.
Well, you know what? I've got still plenty of questions. I'll take your word for it, but I'm sure Anthony Steele will have a lot to say regardless Sunday night.
But Tom, thanks for your time. Courtney.
No, it's your show. Again. I should be thanking you. I should be thanking you, really. It's your show.
The king likes to leave the throne every once in a while, see what kind of malarkey wants to come in here and try to take the throne from me. But
well, Courtney's going to have she's a big Steel Panther fan, so she'll do good for us tonight.
Well, there you go.
I'm the biggest
pleasure seeing you again, Tom. It's always a pleasure. Everyone have a good night.
Thank you, Omen Black, the IMF champion. He says he's the real champion. Courtney Woods, the real female Dave Meltzer. And we won't keep her too long because she might be going to Parkersburg, West Virginia. Might, right? Maybe might. Might. I said might. I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. 325 7th Street, Parkersburg, West Virginia. And I'm not going to ask you about Pittsburgh wrestling, but I am going to ask you about Summer Clash because Maverick's going to be here Tuesday night. And I hear Dave Jameson's going to be in action. I know that we're going to see some other things of note. I know Aaron James is in the house. We have Ampo the Destroyer said plenty. He seems like he wants Dax Preacher, but what can we expect here from your vantage point coming up tomorrow?
Well, Dave Jameson, as far as I know, is taking on Brutal Ben Metal, and that's going to be insane.
That's going to be brutal.
No pun intended. That's going to be crazy.
I wasn't trying to make it fun. Yeah.
Day is unhinged, and Ben Metal is
outside the ring. Just to let you know, he was on for like 4 hours yesterday on Facebook. Did you show up on the Facebook Live or no?
I don't know if I'm allowed on Days Facebook Lives anymore. I got in a little bit of trouble.
Did you say something here that got you in trouble, or what?
No, I said a lot of things on the on Days Live that he didn't appreciate, so I might not be allowed much longer.
Well, so basically don't ask you about it and don't watch it, right? Because I didn't watch it.
I mean, I say what I say.
Well, we want LA Guns to come on to Sportswire this week, so you're basically telling me I got the picture, I got the point, and I can imagine what you said, and that's why I'm excited about Summer Clash.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a really big show.
Lots of different about that Day Jameson though and Brutal Ben Metal. Talk about that for a minute, real quick.
That whole scene was chaotic because you had the collective taking on. It was Cody Maverick and Nate Steele.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And Damnation surrounded the entire ring, like all four sides, forcing those two teams that had just been in an epic battle to team up and fight those guys. And Day just has no quit in him. So he's fighting all of these guys, and he's still like, let me at Ben Metal for whatever reason. To the point where Day was just sitting out in the crowd. Like, I'm sitting there with my notebook, I'm writing for the review, for the recaps, and I look over, there's Day Jameson talking shit, ready to fight Ben Metal, and I'm like, I'm on crutches. If they start fighting out here, I what am I gonna do?
Yeah, well, maybe you would take back something you said recently.
I don't know. Yeah. But poor lovable Lester had to handle that like right then and there, and they set up the match for for tomorrow or today now.
Yeah, it's today now.
It's gonna be crazy. I'm really afraid somebody's gonna get hurt.
New with Day. Listen, nothing new. It's nothing new with Day, and Day certainly is always a topic, and we'll see what he does inside the ring this time. And before we give you a few more minutes and close the show, she's on Slam Magazine. So despite what they may say about her, she's actually been published in Slam Wrestling. So check it out. I like to check it out. I hope you do too. And we appreciate Courtney because I trust her judgment over Dave Meltzer because I don't really read Dave Meltzer, but obviously, the orchestrator. That was a big topic with James Enoch. What do you think happens there tomorrow?
More questions. That just seems to be the theme. Like, they don't want us to know what's actually going on until they're like his. I don't even know if it's a him really, but whatever the orchestrator's plan is.
You see, when we had James Enoch here, and it was like. It turned into something else. And then, I mean, I'm not going to mention the one guy with a first name of W and a last name of B. We got into that conversation. I won't mention his name, but James Enoch, I asked him about that. And it turned into, I was more confused when James Enoch was here about the orchestrator, you know?
And before he got on, we had talked about that because he had came out to talk to Aaron James. And it was speaking in riddles, more questions than answers. We don't know. And that's the scary part. I don't think they want us to.
No, I think that I'm going to have more questions. I think Mr. Enoch is back here at some point next month because WVWF actually it's a busy time here in the WVWF. We have 3 shows coming up within like 3 weeks. So we're going to see everybody a bunch of times. So if you missed the WVWF, and also, by the way, Ox McCoy said he misses the Steel Panther poster. Where is the Steel Panther poster? It's somewhere. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, they were missing the poster. It's the whole thing. I mean, I thought you could pull a string and get a Steel Panther on here. Somebody asked me that. Was it Kevin from Ring Crew? Maybe it was Kevin from Ring Crew.
Probably. How great was Kevin from Ring Crew?
And he was like, I was nervous. I didn't know if I could do it. I mean, the guy, listen, I would just have him take over Sportswire. We'll have more views.
That's just who he is. He is such a shy person, but he's so nice.
Well, there was a great David Lee Roth song called "Shy Boy, Shy Boy, Shy Boy." It was from the first official solo album. But yeah, I mean, maybe we can get Steel Panther on Sportswire. I have LA
Oh, I
Gun.
would try.
Well,
I
you'll
would
tune
try.
in at least. You'll tune in. You'll tune in. That'll be
I
a good.
I got to do a Zoom call with them during the pandemic, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm so surprised that I was able to form words. Um, yeah, I don't know how much you were paying attention during that time, but like Steel Panther was very creative with
Yeah.
like making money during that time,
Yeah,
and they were.
I was, because there were bands that were going on and they were doing Facebook Lives and they were doing like PayPals. They were doing live stream. A lot of people did Instagram Lives. People doing a
Mhm.
number of different like special things. Yeah, I caught a lot of that. A lot of bands would do that because you couldn't tour. You couldn't tour for. I mean, although the band Kicks, you won't laugh because you're a teacher, but they actually did play during COVID because there were certain states that you win,
Mhm.
but they did it. They went out and played. I mean, but most bands were like, but it was like socially distanced. You were playing in certain states where you probably had like, a few hundred people, but you got to pay the bills, and But yeah, it was a horrible time in music, and horrible time. And I have the Prodigy here. I mean, what do you think happens tomorrow with him and Damian Abel?
That I don't know. Um, he seems to have a really big problem with Damian Abel.
Well, we may see someone's hair maybe be gone.
Let's hope not.
Well, mine ain't going anywhere. Let's just put it that way.
Good. Good.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. It's actually funny. Somebody told me once I should shave it for like $1,000. I'm like, that's lunch money for me. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Don't worry, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Is that like when what was it, Gillette razors offered ZZ Top like $1 million to shave their beard?
I wouldn't even do it for $1 million. Although it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I said this on one of my lives, and somebody actually offered me like $1,000 in the street. I was like, no, no. I actually got a job. Even I was offered a job. I applied for a job. It was Macy's. Before I came into some other things, and they were like, part of it was to trim my stuff. I'm like, nope. No. Yeah, 1K isn't enough. No, 1K is not enough. No, it's definitely not enough there. But before I let you go, I will give you a few minutes. I know you may or may not be there at Parkersburg, so I don't want to keep you forever. But he's ready for tomorrow. I hope Damian. And listen, James Enoch had a lot to say about Damian Abel too. Don't forget, he had a lot to say about him. A lot to say about him. And she's saying hello to you. Hello to Ox as well. And yeah, Ox walked in. Omen left. And yeah, don't even get there. And yeah, we'll hit the sub button for the WVWF. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be. I'm very excited about the show. I'm also very excited. We talked about Dax Preacher. Ampo seems like he wants Dax Preacher, but that's to be determined. That is very much be determined. And our women's champion, I'm sure, will be there tomorrow.
Yeah, Phoebe Harper should be there.
Because Jade May was here in the chat, and I had to bring that up for you. That's why I had to do it before I let you go.
No disrespect, Jade. I highly respect you, but my women's champion is Phoebe Harper.
And she was quoted a couple of days ago on the WWF page. She had a promo, so she'll definitely, I'm sure, be a part of the action or be showing up. And we also have Brittany Storm versus Tori to look forward to. And then
Tori's gonna beat the brakes off of her.
Yeah, they're gonna have a match.
Fair.
They're gonna have a
It's
match.
Not even fair.
You know what that's gonna be like when Omen Black, before you came on, had the Space Jam reference. That'll pretty much be the same thing here.
Tori is going to beat the crap out of her, and I love it.
Well, 325 7th Street, Parkersburg, West Virginia. That's where you can find out more information. And there's another guy who I'm not going to mention is wrestling Tony Sane, it looks like. So we're not going to go there with that. And, we're also expecting Chris Phoenix, who was here a few weeks ago. Yes, people may have forgot about that, but he said he would be there tomorrow. So that'll be something else to watch.
Awesome.
With Hype Man Dan Lasers, they have a tag team together. I saw Hype Man Dan Lasers on Facebook on Timothy Titan's live. Not going to go there into any of those details, but he was there on that. And I've heard some other things about tomorrow's show, which I'm going to
Great.
keep my mouth lid. I'm going to keep my mouth lid on that because I don't want to get. I want LA Guns to come back onto Sportswire. And WVWF also reached 600 plus followers on Facebook. Congratulations to WVWF. And also, what? Yeah, you got to come on. I mean, why haven't you come on? This guy is in my chat. Box before the IMF Hardcore Champion. He's literally been in the chat more than Zilla the last 6 months. The last year, as a matter of fact, he's been on the streams. Like, if I've had 300 streams, he's been on like 275 of them. So when are you? Yeah, you better get your new laptop and come on the show. Anything else you want to bring up? Anything else you want to talk about before we sign off tonight? Because I know you may or may not be there in Parkersburg. That's why I don't want to keep you any longer.
I am pretty sure I'm gonna be there. Again, it's a 3.5 hour drive, so it's really up to the ride situation. But that's so cool. I'm also writing for the Pro Wrestling Wire, which you saw
you had we
IWC
talked about that with you had the big write up for the last, what was the IWC show last week, right?
Yeah, where Duke Davis finally captured the heavyweight championship.
It was like almost 3 years. It was almost 3 years or something with Bill Collier, right? Almost 3 years.
Yeah, he was champion for 931 days.
Yeah, it's 2.5 years almost. It's 1,000 days almost. It's almost 3 years.
Yeah. I love Duke Davis so much. I was around when he was training, and because we're the ridiculous fans that we are, we would take the bus to the show super early, and Duke would be on that bus, and we'd be like, oh my God, that's Duke Davis. And he is the kindest human ever. When I was, after my car accident, the owner of Rise Wrestling,
I know Rise,
went around and gave, had all of the guys sign a get well card, and Duke signed it, "Get well soon, or I hate it."
And he's got
like his catchphrase.
Count to 5. Did you make him sign it with the count to 5?
No, because Duke's like 20 feet tall. I can't tell Duke to do anything, but I just thought that was so sweet. So to see him at the top of like being heavyweight champion is just like the coolest thing ever.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
Unfortunately, some nonsense happened around this area, but that should have been the headline coming out of this city.
Yeah. I was hoping to talk about, some matches that had took place. I was hoping to have done that. We had Godric here on Sunday, and stuff that went on. It happens. I watched the Facebook. That's why I actually, the reason I came on late, I was actually watching the Facebook Live today. I was watching the one that Double T did, Timmy Titan did. I was watching it. I was watching the live, and that was the gist of it. So that was that. But you have anything else you want to say? Because I got one more guest that decided to come on here. I'm going to let him speak while you go and get ready for. Oh, he left. Actually, he left. But you have anything else you want to say before we close the show tonight?
No. Like I said, I've been handed the keys to write for Pro Wrestling Wire, so I will pop up whenever I can. Actually, that's why the lights are off. I'm actually working on a review of Atticus Coger's documentary. Do you know Atticus?
Oh, wow. I heard the name. I mean, you'll probably know more than I would, admittedly, because you're working on a documentary.
He's a pretty decent sized name in like the deathmatch community.
Yeah,
but he was celebrating
him in the Murder Death Kill Club group on Facebook. You're part of that group on Facebook, Murder Death Kill Club?
No. No, he was a part of 404 with Ricky Shane Page.
Yep. Yeah, I heard of 404.
Yeah. Well, this was like a diary that he had put together, and it was celebrating his 10 years in the business, and it was so fascinating. I'm going to take advantage of their faith in me, and I'm going to write about it and hope that it goes over pretty well.
Oh, I think it'll go over well.
So interesting.
No, you'll do great with it. You'll do great with all of it. If you want to catch Courtney's writings, you can catch her on Facebook. You can also, I think, maybe see her tomorrow. And I'm not going to ask you about anything else out there in Pittsburgh, but I've got a guest, and if he's here, I'm going to give him a shot because I haven't had him on. So I'm going to let you catch up on some rest. thank you for all that you do for our sport. I'm not going to watch the 4-hour Dave Jameson live on Facebook because you probably said something I shouldn't watch, but I got the point. So I'm pretty sure it falls in line with those things. But we
Just
don't want
know that I'm right.
I'm
Just
going
know that
to agree
I'm
with
right.
you. Know why I'm going to agree with you? Because there might be a prayer I get Steel Panther on one day. Listen, you know what? You know what? LA Guns fell into my lap. It was like all of a sudden I got an email. Hey, do you want to bring LA Guns onto my show? I was like, yeah. Where do I sign? So you never know. I've put in a request for them. So sometimes
If
these
you
things
get
happen.
if you get Steel Panther and you don't say my friend is like the biggest fan, I will
You're
be
gonna hang me.
very
You're gonna come to my house. You're gonna come to my house
I,
and
I
hang
will
me.
be very, very sad if
You'll
you're
be
like,
more
hey, my
vicious.
friend is super obsessed with
You'll
you
be more
guys.
vicious than the kids in the street. Yeah, I know. I know that. No, I promise you, I will mention you. I haven't got there yet. I may get there. So we'll see. I hope to get them. We'll take all of them. And thank you for all
Thank
that you
you.
do. And Princess JD, you might want to stay on for a minute, but you will let you go, Courtney. I will see you very soon. And you have a great night. And I hope to see
Yeah.
you after Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Sounds good. Good night.
That was Courtney Wood. And wait a minute. Do I know you? Wait a minute. Is this? I thought Anthony Steele was coming on here. He's here Sunday.
Oh, he got jokes. How you doing?
I'm alive. I'm alive. Oh, it was almost like a reunion show. Omen Black was here for a while. He had certainly talked about what's coming up in his company, and he mentioned the name. Speaking of which we'll talk for a little while on, and which was a name, Jason Storm, that has caused some problems in your company that you own, ROEW. That is, we had a guy from RCEW, but you own ROEW. And Jason Storm was quite a topic a little while ago with Omen Black, and he had talked about him. And it's great to be with you again. I know we've been trying to do this a few different times, but I've had different people. I've been sick, actually. I missed a couple of shows. We were actually going to do it one of these days this past week, but unfortunately, Mother Nature beat me to it. But it's good to be with you again. And how you been?
I've been all right, Tom. I'm surviving. I'm doing what I do best, and that's live and enjoy my time that I have here on this planet. And I'm glad to
Thank
know
God.
that you're actually doing okay. So
I am
good to hear.
now that you're back on prime time. Now that we're getting back to the basics, Omen was back. You're here. Anthony's back Sunday. But what's on your mind tonight? I know there's been a lot going on, especially with ROEW, new arena. Jason Storm's been more out of control with you, and what would you like to address tonight?
Well, I mean, it's not really a dress. I mean, we could talk about Jason Storm. We could talk about ROEW. I mean, ROEW made its return, and we've had
Yes,
some awesome matches. We got a brand new
absolutely.
setup. I put in the funds to get everything set up for ROEW 2.0, basically, you could call it. And obviously, it didn't make Jason too much, you know, excited. He wasn't that excited whenever he
No,
saw
he
it.
was, and he was very unhappy about that. Very unhappy
Yeah,
about that.
because well, no pun intended, I trumped his ass. I basically said what I was going to do, and that's bring ROEW back because ROEW belongs to me, and that's my show. And Jason Storm is my talent. He works for me. He says he runs shit, but clearly I'm the one that runs everything. I'm the one that's handling it, and I'm the one that's getting the show going. And obviously, he can't stand it. But I mean, obviously, I've got a stage for him right there where he put his little two fat feet on, and there he goes.
But what do you think, though, that Jason Storm said that he's not talking about things here and he
Yep.
feels that you have been way out of line with him and how you've treated him, and he's the one that's really built up ROEW. He's the man right now in the underground circuit, and he feels you've been out of line. You've been out of line toward him and natural selection for all these months. He's talked about here in the past about the unsafe working conditions. He's talked about the obstacles you've put in front of him. He's talked about just really the way you've been toward him. And really, he said plenty about, well, your past and your family and so many other things. And obviously, you two, I don't even know where to begin.
Clearly, nobody likes, their boss, especially if you're an employee to that
But it's
boss.
2+ years in the making. Do you
2+
remember?
years in the making.
You
Yes.
came on here. He was here, and he was the champion. You came on here, and you said, show me what you got. You talked to him, and
I lit a fire under his ass, and what happened?
But since then, he's remembered that. He's remembered for 2+ years. He goes back. He's got a long memory, and he's thought about that. And he's also thought about how you've treated natural selection, Alex Cross. He's treated the way you've treated him. And he feels that for 2+ years, the way you've disrespected him in this community, a community he feels he's at the top of the food chain of.
He can feel that he's at the top of it all he wants. He is the ROEW World Heavyweight Champion. I will never, ever take that away from him. And I said a little bit of something on Instagram a couple of days ago because I wanted to respond to what he had to say. And I'm giving him credit. He is probably the greatest world champion in this underground community, period, bar none. And that's for every company. And that's not me blowing smoke up his ass. He's doing what he needs to do.
Listen,
but as far as him saying that I am unfair to him, how about the fact that he's unfair to every single roster member in this business, in the ROEW and underground community? How about the fact that he believes that he's so high strung and he's so full of his own hype, believes his own hype, that he thinks he's really the cream of the crop when he doesn't even have a clue. He's been here for maybe 4 years. And 2.5 years ago, I came onto this platform. I saw Jason Storm. And yes, I lit a fire under his ass. I didn't know if it would work or not, but I saw something in him that I knew he could bring out. And if anybody could bring out the best in anybody, it is the nemesis, James Taylor. Whether anybody likes to admit it or not, look at what I did to him. Maybe I created a monster out of it, but he's got a hell of a run going on right now. He's got a lot of people that want to work with him right now, but he seems to think that everybody owes him. He don't owe nobody anything.
But he's long said that he's the guy that's put ROEW on the map. He's long said that he's the guy that put the underground community on the map. And on top of that, you're in no man's land coming up because he could very well be the next All Wrestling Matters champion.
Well, you know what? Jason Storm is a full-time wrestler, and he's doing a hell of a job doing what he's got to do. He's a snake in the grass. He's a dumb son of a bitch at times. He really is. He will go out there and he'll fight. You could tell the man likes to fight. You could tell that bastard will do whatever he has to do to get the job done. And I can appreciate that. I'm not taking away anything as far as skill level and what Jason Storm brings to the table in this underground community and in ROEW. But what he did on the premier season of ROEW with this brand new setup that I brought forth.
By the way,
company,
what a setup ROEW has.
Thank
This
you.
is just unbelievable, the setup that ROEW has. I would take this setup as maybe the greatest ROEW setup in ROEW history. I mean, there is no question that this is a setup that continues the growth of ROEW. But Jason Storm has continued his growth because what he has done for ROEW, what he has done for the underground wrestling community, what he has done in places like IMF, what he could potentially be doing coming up here at Summer Bash by winning the All Wrestling Matters Championship. I mean, this man, he clearly doesn't respect you. He clearly doesn't see you as authority. And he clearly doesn't see you as somebody that he even recognizes because, well, you still haven't met him. You still haven't met him, and he feels for plenty of reasons why you haven't done that. And he's going to continue to do what he wants, and there's almost nothing you could do about it, it seems.
Oh, there's 100%. I could do anything
Yeah.
that I want whenever I want. The snap of my fingers if I wanted to. The only reason I ain't gone down there is because I got no business to go down there. He needs to do his thing. I'm the employer. I'm the one that puts his ass to work. I'm the one that put all these guys to work. I give them the stage. I give them the platform to do what they want to do. As far as other championships from other companies, they don't matter to me. The only titles that matter are the titles that are inside ROEW. And unfortunately, Jason Storm is the top, the cream of the crop of ROEW, and that's fine. He could do all that, but it's not really even about that. It's not even about business anymore because I have bent over backwards for Jason Storm. I have done everything I can to make things right, and he pushes my buttons. He continues to push my
But
buttons.
where does
And
this
then
lead to? But you say you don't have to show up here, right? You said that you're the owner and you're not meddling in ring. But this has come up here so many times over the
I,
past 8 or 9 months that natural selection has been on the top of the ROEW food chain. And I ask you this question because, again, he said he's not addressing this on here anymore. He has said plenty about you, and he feels what he feels about you. And where does this end, and what does it lead to? That's the
I'm getting
question.
to it. I'm gonna get to it. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. He comes out and he decided to be as real as he wanted to be. He started shooting, and he could say all the insults and all the little jabs he wants at me as an owner, as James Taylor, as the nemesis, as the tyrant king. But what he did is he crossed that line. He mentioned my family, and that I've got a problem with. That's why I went on to Instagram to address the situation. And I've given Jason Storm a warning. We haven't heard anything yet. We haven't. Hopefully, I don't. He takes that warning with a passion because I gave him one warning and I'm only giving it once. There will not be a second, just like I said. And if he says anything on any episode of ROEW from here on out, if he comes on to Sportswire, he said he's not going to. It doesn't
No,
matter where he's at.
he doesn't
But if he
have to, though.
mentions anything ever again about my family before this year is over, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not business. This isn't about wrestling. This isn't about a championship. This ain't about ownership. It's personal. Jason Storm understands, I think, that this is going to be more personal than what he's ever dealt with. So he needs to learn to keep his mouth shut and focus on matches with Dark Cron and Joe Stone and not worry about James Taylor and what I do. Period.
Now, I'm going to bring you back next weekend. You're going to come back here next weekend because I want to go further in depth with this. I also want to talk about BYCW with you. There's a number of things that I want to catch up with. But listen, you could look at it and saying that he might want to goat you into it being personal because look at what he's done over the past several months with the list of names. And I agree with Ox McCoy. Natural selection has shown that from almost anywhere, 800 miles away and further, they can't be stopped. Big Man Cam, haven't seen him in a ring since. I mean, let's not even bring up the likes of Kyle Shelby. I mean, we know what's happened with CJ Black and Jason Storm. I mean, now let's talk about Jason Storm in another promotion, IMF that was here. We've seen what he's done there with the House of Wolves. Ask JX what he's dealt with Jason Storm. I mean, look at Darkron, your right-hand man. I mean, so almost anybody that's in there with Jason Storm, I mean, he's knocked him down, and maybe he wants to go personal with you. I don't agree with that. I agree with you. I don't think anybody should bring up someone's family. I'm on the same page, but you know what?
He don't want to go personal with me.
No, I
That's all I'm
understand.
saying.
But do you think that he's trying to coach you into that?
He's barking up the wrong fucking tree. I'm sorry. I know it's a family show. He's barking up the wrong damn tree with me. I'm not. It ain't no game to me. This ain't. You bring it. You make it personal. Continue to try and make it personal, Jason Storm. You already heard the warning, and I'll say it. That's it. Do not make this personal. You're making it. But if you make it worse than what it is before this year is over, nobody will remember who Jason Storm ever is again.
But what would be different than you than Big Man Cam, Kyle Shelby, Drew Shelby.
Because I am the nemesis James Taylor, bar none, period. I don't care if that sounds arrogant, cocky, or it's just a name to some people because they want to flap their gums. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I back up every word I say when I step into that ring. No offense to somebody like Big Man Cam. That's a big son of a bitch, but he's not James Taylor, period. Jason Storm can go one-on-one with Dart Kron. Well, all the more power to him, the veteran, the great Dart Kron, my right-hand man. Yes, that's why I chose him. He could go against one of the most greatest technical wrestlers in this community today, CJ Black. He can go against any single person he wants to. But when he steps into the ring with me, if that happens, just like that, I'm going to turn his lights out and I am going to end Jason. That's it.
Well, Jason Storm said he's not coming on the Sportswire, but if you want to hit the sub button and look for ROBW content, you'll be seeing face-offs. The new season has started, and I do love the new setup, by the way. I have to say, I have loved the new setup, and I think ROBW is going to continue to reach further heights, and that's why you want to support ROBW and all of the great talent there. I do want to say hello to the legendary Doc Holliday, who's now a part of our friends over in NEW. I love our NEW friends. Our old friend Cameron Cage is here, who wanted to say, I think he meant to say hello, but he said hello, Jello. I think he, obviously Ox is a fan of Jason Storm because, well, they're in the same group together. But I do agree with him that, yeah, his last year and a half, I mean, there was a time he wrestled Jack Delta, and people were like, what is Jason Storm doing in the ring with Jack Delta? Since then, Jason Storm has surpassed almost any, like you said, to your credit, any underground champion there is out there and what he's 100%. Done. Because he's a full-time wrestler.
I am not
He's traveled to other places. He goes out there and he's defended it and he's defeated people everywhere. I mean, it's just what he's done speaks for itself. I agree with you outside the ring, but look, he's got a way of doing things and they're very successful. Thank you, Princess JD. Hope you had a great night. Thank you for tuning in. We had a lot of fun catching up tonight. It was good to be back, and you did. And you came at the right time. And this was tonight, James, people were like, Sportswire is back. The last 2 nights, Sportswire has been back. But, I mean, so you feel, though, that you've got this under control with Jason Storm in Natural Selection. You sure? Before we sign off here.
Yeah, I believe I do. As long as he stays in his lane and stays out of mine, I don't care what he does. He can continue. He can stay champion as long as he can until someone comes along and beats him.
Who do you think
I said
that.
I got to make that clear. I got to make that clear for everybody. I am not knocking his ability in that ring. I am not knocking anything that he has done as far as being a champion, even though he backdoors his way to win a championship and cheats or whatever he does. I am not going to knock it because I've been there. I know what it's like to be at the top. I know what it's like to have that responsibility on your shoulders. I know everything that there is to know as far as being the top guy, but this isn't about business. It's personal, and I don't want it to go any further than what it's gone. That's why I gave him the one warning, and that's it. There will not be a twice.
No, I got that, but at the end of the day, I go back to 2 years ago with hearing you wanted him to have an edge. You wanted him to have a chip on his shoulder. Well, he's got it, and he's done it at your expense. At your expense. You came on here and said, show me what you got, kid. Like you always do. Show me what you got, kid. You went out there and you told him, well, this is what you got to do. You told him and you wanted that believability. Well, guess what? Like Ox McCoy said, he's grown leaps and bounds and really he's now your problem. Your problem. That goes back to 2 years ago. 2+ years. And some may even say the roles are reversed. The tables have been turned. And who could challenge Jason Storm for that world championship? Because he's run through everybody you've put in front of him. I mean, who could take this world championship from him?
Just because he's run through the individuals that I have placed in front of him, do you think I'm out of options? Do you think that James Taylor would be honestly out of options? You think I ain't got more cards underneath the sleeves? You think I ain't got an ace in the hole? I know exactly what I've got a list of things that I could do to make Jason Storm's life a living hell. But right now, I'm just going to let him ride the wave that he's on.
Well,
And
he's
as long
rode
as he
that wave.
stays on that wave, he
Well,
can
it's
stay
been a very impressive wave, but since November. November
100%.
rain.
He could stay on that wave and continue riding it off into the sunset and do his career and just stay with what he's doing. Just leave my name out of your mouth. You can address me as boss, James Taylor. I'm sorry. You don't even have. You know what, Jason? If you're listening, you don't even have to say
Oh,
you're
he's gonna
sorry.
listen
Just
tomorrow.
stay.
Listen, tonight it was you and Omen were on, and Courtney Wood in between to give me WVWF. People are gonna go back and watch this. They're gonna see the clip on Instagram in a little while. They're watching. They're watching back tonight. Tonight was Sportswire coming back. They're watching this. Anthony's back tomorrow on Sunday. Yeah, people are watching. You're back here next weekend again. Yeah, people are watching. Yes, they're gonna be. He's gonna know about this. Trust me. He's gonna. Now the wheels are gonna be turning. Yeah, and I like when James comes on. But the last few weeks has been, like I said, I've been sick. We've had different people on, and the wheel goes round and round, and it's definitely going round and round.
Thank you,
Anything else?
Umps.
Anything else you want to say before we sign off? Anything else you want to say before we sign off tonight? We'll bring you back next. By the way, next Sunday night. Anthony's here this Sunday night. You are here the following Sunday night.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me. Stay tuned to BYCW Speed Limit 6 Night 2. It's going to be a hell of a spectacle. Go follow BYCW if you haven't. You don't like trampoline wrestling, I apologize, but it's not the end of the world. They're just guys that love to wrestle, just like we all do.
I agree.
And yes, please go and follow if you haven't, or send it to your friends. Share ROEW with everybody, because ROEW is the place you want to be. And
Absolutely.
There it is.
And I have the ROEW YouTube channel link for people. Hit the sub button for ROEW, and yeah, people definitely were happy that this show went on, and people were like, "Are you going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going on." There was a live I was watching on Facebook with a wrestling stuff going on in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that I was watching, which was remember what we dealt with in the backyard? Well, they were dealing with it sort of, but only with like people in locker rooms. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was. I was watching the live, so I was waiting for the live to end, and then we came on, and you messaged me. You were like, "Yeah, I'll be on." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good," because we were catching up with people. But yeah, hit the sub button for ROEW. Also, James is on Instagram. He's on TikTok. Taffy's Lounge, by the way, if you love some lo-fi beats to study to, or now it's summer, is that maybe you want to just sit there by the pool, sit there while you're cooking some burgers, cooking on the grill, maybe sitting and having a drink with a toe in the sand, or barbecuing somewhere, wherever it might be. James is on with Taffy's Lounge. He's on Instagram. You can watch his most recent promo toured. Jason Storm, the puppet master, some would say the man that pulls the strings in ROEW in the underground wrestling circuit. But if you want, though, please hit the sub button for James and ROEW. Follow him on Instagram. You can see all of his great content. Look at his beautiful face. His good-looking face is back on Sportswire. A good-looking man is here. Is obviously the missus is out there, very happy, and I'm not going to steal him from you because we don't go that way, but obviously, nevertheless, it's good to see James. James is clean shaven since he's been last on Sportswire, and you shaved. Somebody said that once I should shave this for $1,000, and I just laughed at them. And Courtney before was like, "Don't do that," and I'm like, "I'm not doing that." But don't you worry. Yeah.
Now that you got the signature with the money.
Yeah, I can't do it at this point. I can't do it. It's funny. I went for a part-time job today for fun, and they looked at me. I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't getting that job," but that's okay. We don't necessarily need the job. We have other things to look forward to, like being back on Sportswire more often, because that's what you're gonna get. But James Taylor is here. He's the owner of ROEW. You'll see him a part of places like BYCW and others, and he also owned the PWF, which we're on YouTube for, and our old friend Joey Knight Jr. is on 2 Sundays from now. And Joey Knight Jr. is a part of HCW. So the wheel goes round and round, and we'll be here tonight with BTW, which has a wrestler that you've formerly had in ROEW, but we'll leave that at that. Yeah, we'll leave that at that. But thank you everybody for tuning in, and there was a lot of fun tonight. I see a lot of people tuned in, and this is what you got because they wanted the favorites, and we'll have them coming back. This is James Taylor. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. And if you're here on Sportswire, I'll be I think about 10:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight with the BTW guys, and then we'll have Anthony Steele 8 o'clock Sunday night, who has plenty to say. Who James is kind of in an awkward position because he walked off Omen Black and the fans were cheering him. I know it sounds controversial. We'll talk about it. I know the fans cheering Anthony Steele, very controversial, James. But we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But thank you, everybody, for staying up with us. Hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for ROEW. And thank you, everybody, tuning in. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one Global Radio station, the Sports by Radio, where all music and wrestling matters.